It's right here in places like your garden and in your yard here. And when it bites, you probably won't even know about it. But when it does bite, it will change your life forever, leaving you susceptible to some deadly reactions. Now, I know all about this because my mother-in-law suffers from it. And tonight, I want to share her story with you in case it can help someone you or someone you love. Susan Morrison used to feel pretty comfortable in the kitchen. That is, until the allergic reactions started.
I was actually visiting in Myrtle Beach, and we went out to dinner and had shrimp. During that night, I broke out with hives, very uncomfortable, and they got bigger and more, and so I just assumed that I was having a reaction to something that I'd eaten.
So Susan cut shellfish out of her diet. But the allergic reactions kept coming again and again.
My throat started closing and I couldn't swallow, and it was like you were going to just pass out right there.
Seemed like everything she put in her mouth caused some sort of breakout.
They did all the tests and they said, you have no allergic reaction to any of the seafood or any of the shellfish. And they kind of looked at each other and said, but we're going to run this other test that you're going to find very interesting.
The allergist tested Susan for something she wasn't expecting: beef. Sure enough, she had a reaction. Something she'd eaten her entire life, now making her sick. Very sick.
At first, I really just thought, this is too bizarre.
Bizarre, yes, but what doctors now think caused her to be allergic to beef is baffling medical minds.
When they first started doing the testing, she asked me, the nurse, she said, have you noticed a particularly bad tick bite? And I said, oh my goodness, yes, I found a sea tick.
Those tick bites are turning into a big problem in parts of the Southeast, from Virginia to Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, even North Carolina. A sudden allergic reaction to beef, oftentimes hard to miss because the reaction happens up to 36 hours later.
We just found this tick on the carpet.
A recent study by the University of Virginia found one common denominator in most cases: a tick bite. It's been dubbed the alpha-gal allergy.
It's probably going to change the way that allergists look at allergies, particularly to foods.
Allergist Mark Schecker is looking out for symptoms in his own practice in Myrtle Beach. While he may not have diagnosed anyone yet, he says it's a matter of time.
There are cases popping up in other states that you mentioned, South Carolina, Georgia. We're seeing that spread. And it's unclear why that's happening.
But researchers have come up with a tick theory. Here's how it works. Alpha-gal is a carbohydrate found in meat. Researchers believe that the alpha-gal is somehow stimulated by the tick bite inside the body, making a person develop antibodies to alpha-gal. Once you're exposed to alpha-gal from other sources, in this case meat, the antibody attacks, causing that allergic reaction.
Take it very seriously. Some of these reactions can be quite severe, even fatal.
The problem is diagnosis. Remember, this is all new research. Dr. Schecker only found out about it in the last year.
It's an awareness thing. Patients do need to come in because many patients will, just not have these things evaluated for months and months, and we don't even know how many patients are out there like that.
It's changed my life.
Susan stays away from beef, pork, and lamb now. Sounds easy enough, but try going out to eat.
I have to really worry about contamination. If you go to a restaurant, you have to ask if they have a separate grill for fish and beef.
Cross-contamination could send her into anaphylactic shock again, so she also carries her own emergency kit around. EpiPen and Benadryl are by her side all of the time. While Susan may miss a hamburger on occasion, she says it's a small price to pay.
It doesn't matter to me. You do what you have to do to be healthy.
You do what you have to do to stay alive. Now, as for why this is hitting certain states, especially here in the Southeast, well, very warm here, and researchers believe that climate has something to do with that. Blood samples taken from Boston and Scandinavia did not show those alpha-gal antibodies, but blood samples taken from places like Virginia and North Carolina did. Dr. Schecker believes that this is just the beginning of diagnosis as more people learn about the alpha-gal allergy. And tonight, you can learn more too. On WNBFnews.com, we have set you up with more information on the studies out there, as well as the interviews with our allergist and our patient, my mother-in-law, Susan. Bottom line here is if you're having some Unexplained allergies, some reactions, take it seriously. Go see a doctor because it could lead to something much more serious. Live in Myrtle Beach, Danner Evans, WNBF News.
Now, WNBF News Storm Team